Look here at the gymnasium inside Hilliard Bradley High School for the 270 Hoops, sponsored by Score on Air and the Ohio Media School. Game of the week against the Thomas Worthington Cardinals. I am Andy Evans. Thank you, everybody, for coming along for the ride and joining me. But I'm going to give one to him anyways. You should already know the name by now. 270 Hoops' very own Zach Fleer to give you a very colorful insight on Zach, what should be an absolutely great game this evening.
This is a big one in the OCC Cardinal. This is as big as it gets. It's essentially an OCC championship game. Hilliard Bradley comes in with a 50-game winning streak in the conference. If they win here, then 4 years since they lost. This is as big as it gets for Bradley, as big as it gets for Thomas. And I think for the Cardinals, coming in with a 9-game winning streak, if they can win on the road here, it's going to mean big things for them going forward. Maybe getting that first OCC title since 2007, and maybe getting that first district title since 2001. So it's going to be big time. Last game at Thomas Worthington came down to the wire. Matalacco really took over the game late and led Bradley to that 49-46 win. I think for Thomas Worthington tonight, if they want to win, they got to get above 50 points. When Hilliard Bradley gives up more than 50, they're more prone to lose. They've only lost 7 of their last 89 games. They're 82-7 since the beginning of the 2016-17 season. They don't lose often. They don't lose often at home. So it's going to be a battle for both these teams, and especially Thomas Worthington on the road.
Well, when you talk about Thomas Worthington scoring points, of course, you've got to talk about Jalen Solinger. He's the cog in the wheel. He's the offensive guy that leads this Thomas Worthington Cardinal team. Of course, Jalen Solinger, yes, folks, the same Jalen, same Solinger name, should I say, J.J. Solinger. Zach, what's he got to do to help these Cardinals get some revenge tonight?
He's got to score. He had 20 points in the last matchup. I think he's got to get other guys involved and has to continue to play, with the leadership chip that he's had recently. Jalen has really evolved this year as a leader, defender, distributor. If he has an all-around game tonight, gets guys involved and the ball doesn't become stagnant, Thomas is going to be in good shape.
And here's the tip-off, controlled by the Cardinals, and there is Solinger with the basketball, bringing it past half court.
It's defended by Matalacco.
Being guarded by Alacco.
Last matchup, Alacco was kind of sagging off a little bit to try and prevent the dribble drive. We'll see if that happens again. Jalen was able to get off quite a few step-back threes in the last matchup and made a couple of them. So, that's a matchup you want to see there between those two.
Well, right now, Hilliard Bradley playing a tough man-to-man defense. Boy, they are just cutting off the lane right now.
It's that pack line defense. There's always tight ball pressure and great help side defense. In order to beat that, you got to hit smash up early, but kind of, the faucet turned off a little bit in the second half.
Number 32, Tyrese Huey, who misses it, and it's rebounded second on this Hilliard Bradley team in scoring, Zach.
He's the son of Coach Brett Norris. Brett Norris's older brother, like his dad. He can absolutely shoot the ball.
And we've got our first foul of the game here on number 15, Peyton Murphy. Looked like he got called for a push as Solinger hit the ground, and the ball's going to go back the other way.
Bradley loves to set and to watch because, the Jags, they like to make you uncomfortable and run through a lot of action. If the refs are calling it tight, that might work in Thomas Worthington's favor.
Isaac Settles now bringing it up the court. Dishes off to Solinger, who's going to come to the doing a little weave action here, Zach, as Solinger gets the ball back. Maybe Settles now with a backdoor cut. Good for number 22, Amari Effiong, and the scoring here, Zach, match is underway.
I think Amari Effiong is going to be the most.
3 ball from the corner by number 30, A.J. Mergen. Back to that offensive weave. Settles looking for a hole, and it's now up the court. Oh! By Keaton Norris, and he was fouled underneath. As he
put his body into him, drew the contact, but that turnover was created by the help side defense in their pack line. Anytime you pin there, Settles turns it over, and they get a fast break opportunity here with Keaton Norris. You just got to hit those free throws and take advantage.
Absolutely. This Hilliard Bradley team tonight, especially where you've got a Thomas Worthington team coming in with revenge on their mind, given that only loss of the season they suffered. If you better hit your free throws.
Absolutely. It's going to be a tight one. Matchup. I want to see how Thomas gets Tyrese Huey involved. Last game with 6 points.
Defense on Solinger, and he forces it. Goes back to Blanco, was just tenacious on that
matchup. He was sagging off a little bit, allowed some of those. That's what it's going to take. You got to make Solinger uncomfortable.
Oh, Norris settles, but they get it back.
Opportunity created on offensive rebound by Matt on 3. Keaton Norris isn't going to miss 2 in a row.
Cards back with the ball. Down 4-2. Sollinger's got it. He's going to try and drive the lane, and it's up and in off the night.
Like the aggressiveness there from the junior Sollinger. He's gotten tough to really prove himself.
Absolutely. This is going to be the matchup of the night. So, oh, my, what a move to the bucket. Keaton Norris.
All 6 points from Keaton Norris for the Jags so far. He's gotten a lot better this season. He's been a huge contributor for these Jags, and I think he's going to have a big game tonight.
Settles with the ball now. He's trying to drive inside. Tough defense put on him by number 30, A.J. Mergen, and now the foul. And it looks like they're going to call Tayshawn Mayfield for the foul, Zach. And now his brother Chris in the ball game.
Chris is a football signee to Michigan State. It's a great physical matchup for Tyrese Huey. You can push him out of the paint, and it allows you to put, Tayshawn Mayfield on Amari Effiong, which is another great matchup for the Jags.
Pass over in the corner, and it's no good. Bradley comes down with it, and here comes Alako. He's being guarded by Mayfield. Excuse me, he's being guarded by Effiong. There's Chris Mayfield. Dishes it out top to Norris. Norris over to Alako. He's going to fire from downtown. Bring it up, Matt Alako, the team's leading scorer, second leading scorer in all of the OCC, Zach. What a shot from the senior there from the wing.
That's nice to see from him, because last year he really went away from his jumper, only made 9 threes all last season. He's already surpassed that total, and there's a bucket from Tyrese Huey.
I was just getting ready to say.
Has to get involved this game.
A nice little about 12, 15-foot jumper there from Huey. He's on the board. 9-6 now. The Jags with a 3-point lead over the Cards. Alako's got it, going to drive the lane, steps up, and just drills a nice 10-footer in the paint.
Matt Alako, Keaton Norris, all 11 points so far for the Jags.
Well, and you would think, that's great to get production out of your top 2 scorers, but at some point, Zach, you know that they're going to have to rely on somebody else to step up. Who's that guy going to be for Bradley?
I think it could be Tayshawn Mayfield. It was in the last matchup. Got a lot of stuff off offensive rebounds and, real hustle plays.
Settles was off on his shot, rebounded by Huey. He was off. And the Jags are off and running. Alako behind his back. Thought about a 3 to Mayfield up top, who now dishes to the left wing to Keaton Norris, who's up top to Alako. And, boy, if he shoots that one, that's NBA style there. Instead, he gives it right over the middle into the paint. Number 30, A.J. Mergen. What a pass from Alako to Mergen.
Great floater finish for Mergen. That's a kid I really like. He's sacrificed a lot, on a team with so many good guards. I think next year when Alako graduates, that's going to be a guy that's really going to step up.
He looked good in the paint there, just a nice soft touch, and he gets it in to give the Jags here a 13-6 lead. We're under 2 minutes to play. Sollinger slowing it down a little bit. Head coach Sean Luzader told him, slow it down. Let's take our time. Let's see what we can get back on the board here, because right now Bradley's starting to run away with this thing. Momentum is definitely on their side, and now Coach Sean Luzader calls a timeout. So with 1:36 to go here, first quarter, 13-6, Hilliard Bradley over the Thomas Worthington Cardinals in a rematch from December, Zach. That was probably one of the best and greatest Ohio Media School and Score on Air broadcasts that we've ever done.
And that was our first broadcast of the season, ironically enough, and it was, a lot of people watching that one. I know especially, and these guys are probably watching it right now, but 2 college players from Bradley, Braden Norris, Isaiah Spielman, 2 2018 graduates. They're instrumental in really building this program to what it is now. Those 2 guys, Isaiah is now playing at Cedarville Division II College, having a great year off the bench for the Yellow Jackets. And then you have Braden Norris, who's serving his sit-out transfer year. He's at Loyola Chicago, one of the NCAA's elite shooters last year at Oakland. Both those guys, I know they watched the first broadcast, probably watching this next one. those two dudes were instrumental in really building this Bradley program. 2 years before they arrived here at Hilliard Bradley, the Jags were the last seed in the Central District Tournament. They were 0-22 back in 2013.
Wow.
Those two guys arrived back 2014-15 season when they were freshmen, really turned this whole program around. Brett Norris has been incredible. And, Bradley wouldn't be what it is without Braden Norris and Isaiah Spielman.
Back in the action here. Sollinger's got it, top of the key. They're still looking to go inside here, Zach, and Bradley just keeps cutting them off at the pass just about every single time. Sollinger's got it again, slips a little bit. He does find a crease, gets to the bucket, and it looks like it was hit out of his hands by Mayfield. And indeed it was, and they're going to give the ball to the Cardinals. And it looks like they're going to call an offensive foul. Wow. Zalewski was able to get the bucket, but it looks like they may have called him for the foul.
Chris Mayfield steps in, takes the charge on Sollinger. Thomas Worthington fans don't like it, but that's what Bradley does. They step in front of you.
And stepping in front there is Jalen Sollinger as he intercepts Mergen's pass. Unfortunately, though, he can't get a handle on it. It goes out of bounds, and so the ball now will remain with Bradley as Mergen inbounds to Alaco.
I do want to wish a happy 18th birthday to Chris Mayfield, celebrating that today. Special moment for the future Spartan.
There you go. Well, happy birthday, Chris. And good luck next year at Michigan State.
Just don't beat Ohio State.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, there you go. Norris has got it now. Way up top, catches a screen from Mayfield. He's going to step up, and he gets fouled pretty hard by Huey. As it looks like Huey almost got a piece of that basketball, but I think he got a little bit more of the body as he was coming down. So Norris will be at the line shooting two. 6:06 to go here in the first half. It's a 17-13 Bradley lead. As Norris, last time at the stripe, was 1 of 2. And he gets that one, make it 2 of 3. Second free throw's good. 3 of 4 now from the line for the night. For Keaton Norris, it's a 19-13 Bradley lead. Sollinger brings it up past half court.
For Thomas, they just got to string a couple stops together and a couple scores together. Right now, everything's been so sporadic. They'll get a bucket here and there, and then get one or two stops. But if they can get 3 stops in a row and a couple scores, they need some momentum here.
Indeed, they do. And Sollinger looking to penetrate, but they can't find an open lane. Bradley just keeps cutting them off at the pass. Sollinger's got it now, trying to drive. Tried to do a little dipsy-do fancy footwork. It didn't work, but Zalewski's going to have it now from 3, and it's no good. Mergen comes down with it to Alaco. Alaco looking up court. He's got several red shirts in front of him, so he'll pull it back. Give it to Mergen. Dishes it to the older Mayfield, who's going to drive inside and now dish it out to the wing to Mergen, who's going to drive the lane, and it's no good. Zalewski came down with it, but it looked like Huey hit it out of his hands, his own teammate, and now Chris Mayfield couldn't get the bucket to fall, and the Cards have it back. Sollinger at past half court, under 5 minutes to play, a 19-13 ball game here. Hilliard Bradley with the lead. And it looks like they're going to try and slow things down here a little bit. Zach, you think that's a good idea? It doesn't seem like the fast pace has been.
It's not their identity. I mean, you can't beat Bradley trying to play like Bradley. They got to find a way to speed up the tempo and play the way they have the last 9 games where they haven't lost. They want to play high tempo. When I saw them on Saturday against New Albany, they scored 81 points.
Wow.
Playing a game in the 40s really doesn't suit the way they play. I understand that's how they beat them in the district semifinals last year. It's a different Bradley team this year, though.
Settles has got it in the lane. A little spin move is no good as it doesn't draw any iron. And now Alaco's got it as he gets a little static from Amari Effiong, who tosses it to Norton in the corner. Count up another 3 ball for Keaton Norris.
He's got 11 points. He's on fire so far. You can't leave him open. Alaka with the great pass to find the open man.
And there's Zalewski from the corner who just can't find a rhythm. That didn't draw any iron. Up the court to a wide open Tayshawn Mayfield. And all of a sudden, a 15-13 Hilliard-Bradley lead is now a 24-13 ball game with under 3:40 to play here in the first half. Solinger's got it to Effiong, who's trying to do something.
Ooh.
Oh boy, and he falls to the ground and maybe drew a little bit of contact there from Tayshawn Mayfield. But they called the block on Mayfield, Zach.
That's his second foul too. That's a big one for Bradley. If you're Thomas, you have to take advantage, because really on the floor, Bradley has 4 guys that are going to shoot. Tyson Alexander's not going to shoot. You really don't have to guard him. So this is where Thomas could possibly make a run.
And he's now on the bench with those 2 fouls. As Settles has the ball here, trying to catch a screen from Huey, but it's not going to work. Settles now looking, trying to. Got a lot of activity down low between Chris Mayfield and Tyrese Huey. As now Huey comes up, tries to set a screen against Alaka for Solinger, backs off. Solinger gives it to Zalewski, who's going to give it back to Solinger. Solinger just fires from deep, off the back iron. Huey can't come down with it, but it's tipped to Zalewski, who can't get it to go in. Norris comes down with the basketball, and the Zags now have an opportunity for a double-digit lead as Norris shot no good.
Another hustle play, hustle rebound there from Chris Mayfield. He's got 3 of those already. He's everywhere around the ball. That was just, he wanted it more, and that's how we pulled it down there, and they get another possession here for Hilliard-Bradley.
Alaka's got it now. Mayfield, they've done that play now a couple of times where Mayfield fakes the screen and dishes it to the wing. And it's Tyson Alexander, the junior guard.
That's a big shot.
With a huge three-pointer from the corner, and it is now a 14-point Hilliard-Bradley lead. We've got 2:19 to play in this first half.
And for the best coverage of Central Ohio basketball, choose none other than 270 Hoops. 270 Hoops has covered more than 100 teams in the Central District this year. You can find new scouting reports, new game stories, and new video content anytime. We've also launched the 270 Hoops Patreon, more exclusive content. You want to participate, you want to support 270 Hoops, you can do that today at patreon.com/270hoops.
If I may, Zach, you have one of the best high school area hoops websites I've seen out there. I mean, the amount of content that you have dedicated to Central Ohio high school basketball. I'm not just saying this because you're sitting within 5 inches of me, and I have to say it, which I don't have to say it, but I'm going to say it, and I am saying it. It is just unbelievable what you've done, sir.
Thank you. We have a great team, too. I mean, I can't take all the credit for it. We outstanding team, guys like Jake Spiegel, Darkel Curry, Jason Mara, Andy Hoban, Nathan Perkey, Cam Carter, Cade Torbert. We have so many guys, that are helping us right now, and couldn't do it without those guys. And we have a great team, and, when you have great individuals coming together for a greater goal, is how things like this happen.
Great individuals coming together right now for Hilliard-Bradley. They have a 14-point lead with under 2 minutes to play, and they are just shutting down the inside of that paint at every turn. Thomas Worthington looks like they try to get it inside, and they just have absolutely no room whatsoever. Solinger, a little stop and pop, and it's good, ends the drought. That was a big run that Thomas Worthington was on. Another open 3-ball. Mergen, no good. Solinger comes down with the board, 1.5 minutes to go. Uh-oh. And it's good.
Big-time score from Isaac Settles.
Big-time score. Isaac Settles to the hoop and one.
Takes the contact from Chris Mayfield, finishes through it. That's another kid. He had a great first half in this first matchup against Bradley. Really struggled in the second half. That's his first points tonight. If they can get him going, get Solinger going, and they really need to get the ball to Tyrese Huey. He's had maybe 2 or 3 touches tonight. They got to find a way to get the ball to him on the block. He's going to convert. But for Settles here, you got to hit this free throw.
And he doesn't. Mergen comes down with it. It's a 10-point lead with under 1.5 minutes to go here. First half between the Jags and the Cards. Mergen's got it. Looks like a little half-court trap now put on by Thomas Worthington, trying to create a turnover. Instead, Norris finds Mayfield open, who gets closed on quickly. Norris, a little head fake underneath, wide open, Mayfield. What a dish from Norris to the future Michigan State Spartan, Chris Mayfield.
Looked like a 3-second call could have been called there, and Chris Mayfield, it's not.
Do they call 3 seconds anymore?
I've seen it called maybe once this season.
Exactly. Cards miss. Alaco's got it to the hoop, and he's fouled. Take your pick. It could be either Jalen Solinger or possibly Amari Effiong.
They called on Solinger.
Yep, they called
second.
That's his second.
Fortunately for Thomas, there's only 45 seconds left here in the half. He'll be able to play out the rest of the quarter.
Alaco hits his first free throw. Yeah, I don't think that Hilliard Bradley's going to reach the bonus here with 45.2 seconds left. But you never know.
For the Jags, when they score 45 points, they're virtually unbeatable. They've only lost one game in the last 4 years when hitting 45 points. They're at 31 now.
As Alaco hits his second, yep. 31-17 now. Approaching 40 seconds and counting left in the first half.
And their loss to Walnut Ridge, they had 32 at half. They only scored 12 points in the second half and ended up losing that game. They can't afford another shortage like that. I don't think they will with the way they're playing right now. But for Thomas, they got to get the ball inside somehow.
Coach Sean Luzader telling his crew here to just play it out for one last shot. Solinger is up near half court in the top of the key. Looking to set it up, goes over to Huey. Huey's got it on the wing, dishes out top to Settles. Dishes it back over left wing to Solinger, who's trying to drive, find a lane with the shot. No good as he was defended by Alaco.
The 270 Hoops Game of the Week is brought to you by the Ohio Media School, Score on Air, Max and Irma's, and Mojo Sports Gear.
Welcome back to the 270 Hoops Game of the Week. This is the COHSS halftime show. Again, I'm here with my man Hot Take T, Tanner Worling. We are here live again at Hilliard Bradley. Hilliard Bradley versus Thomas Worthington. Right now, the Bradley Jaguars held a 31-17 halftime lead, and so far it's all been about Keaton Norris. 11 big points at the half.
Like you said for the pregame, you said he's going to have a big night tonight, and he is. 11 points. Three out of the 11 points, three-pointers.
Two threes.
Three-pointers
Yeah.
to add to that, but this crowd also just getting loud as we know from past videos. But like I said, Keaton Norris, or like you said, Keaton Norris is having a big game. Matt Alaco, just the whole team in general, they're just playing really good basketball right now.
They are.
Now, for Thomas Worthington, with 17 points, they're down. So what they need to do, like you said, they need a transition offense. They need to push the ball past that pack line defense, but Solinger has been the main key player for them.
Yeah, Solinger has, I believe, 7 points. Matt Alaco for Hilliard Bradley also chipped in with 7 points to help out Norris. But I want to talk about Thomas Worthington for a moment. They have one of the most athletic, big-time players in the post in Tyrese Huey. They have to find a way to get him the ball. He's begging for it down low. He wants to be effective. He did come out and hit a mid-range jump shot, but he only has 4 points and not even a lot of touches. I'm okay if he touches the ball and misses, at least give him a chance to get his offensive rebound. But this is a team, they're led by Solinger, but they have to go through Huey. He's a mismatch for most players in this area down low, and for them to get back in there, he's going to have to be a factor.
Yeah, definitely. agree to that. If you can get him, like we said in the game so far that they gotten to him, he's gotten good shots off. Some of them fall, some of them not. But we're gonna head down to the guys with Zach Fleer and Andy for the rest of the game. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back for the post game and for the Mojo Sports Care Player of the Game.
Should be fun.
The 270 Hoops Game of the Week is brought to you by the Ohio Media School, Score on Air, Max and Irma's, and Mojo Sports Gear.
Welcome back, everybody, to the 270 Hoops High School Game of the Week, powered by Score on Air and the Ohio Media School. I'm Andy Evans, joined next to me, Mr. Zach Fleer. And you know what, Zach? We were just talking here a couple of minutes ago. This is not the only big matchup going on here tonight in Central Ohio.
Absolutely, all across the area in just about every division. There's big-time games. Just a couple quick updates. Whitehall is out to an 18-17 lead over Buckeye Valley at half in the MSL Ohio. In the Licking County League, Heath is up over Johnstown 31-17. In the MSL Cardinal Division, you have Bishop Rosecrans and Harvest Prep both tied at 11. And in the OCC Ohio, Pick Central, Pick North in the battle, with Pick Central leading 19-13 midway through the second quarter.
Well, and tonight so far, I don't know if it has exactly gone the way that a lot of people thought it would, given the first matchup these two teams had at Thomas Worthington High School back in December. But as we start the second half, there's your man, Tyrese Huey, getting to the bucket for a bucket and an and one. So he'll have an opportunity to tack another point on the scoreboard to start the second half.
They gotta continue to get him the ball. And there's another foul there. For Tayshawn Mayfield. That's his third, so he probably won't come back to the fourth quarter. But they have the benefit of Chris Mayfield on the bench, which not many teams have two physical presences like that. Hilliard Bradley does. We'll see if they can continue to get Tyrese Huey involved.
Huey banks his foul shot in, maybe not on purpose, as he kind of came down the court afterwards with a big smile on his face. But nonetheless, the three-point is good. The traditional three-point, should I say, is good, and it's now 31-20 here. Jags with the 11-point lead. Chris Mayfield with it, and why not? He's wide open. Off the front iron, and it was controlled momentarily there by Peyton Murphy, but he couldn't control it all the way, and he turns the ball over. Worthington now with a opportunity to slice this lead into single digits, Zach.
They can find a way to get to 5 or 6 points midway through the quarter. They'll like their chances. They can't continue to play at a double-digit game because if you're down 10 points to Hilliard Bradley, that's like being down 20 to most other teams. They got to find a way to trim this deficit.
Isaac settles now with the ball, gives it to Solinger. Solinger, I believe, led the team in the first half with 7 points as he drives to the rim. Throws up somewhat of a wild shot, and it's no good, but he draws the foul. As Chris Mayfield now.
That's 3 on him.
With his third foul of the game, Zach. And
they have both those guys out. They'll have to like their chances.
Solinger cuts it to single digits as he ices both free throws. And with 6:50 and counting here in the third period, the Jags with a 31-22 lead as Alako gives it up to Mergen, who gives it back to Alako. Alako now resetting the offense, and he gives it to Norris on the right wing. Three ball from Alako, and it's back to a double-digit lead, 34-22, under 6.5 to play. What a shot from Alako.
When he's hitting those three-point trays, he might be the toughest player to guard in the area. Last year, he only made 9 threes total in the season. He's got 2 tonight.
Oh, wow. Showtime here at Hilliard Bradley. As that looked like that was Effiong. Yeah, Effiong tossed it up there.
Tyrese Huey.
To your man, Tyrese Huey, and he just crammed it down, two-handed authority there, Zach, and it's a 34-24 ball game. Well, Zach, we'd like to thank the Max and Irma's located in Hilliard, just off 270 on Cemetery Road, for providing our pregame meal tonight. What a heck of a meal it was. Don't know if you had an opportunity to eat a cookie or a salad or some sandwiches there that the gang from the Cemetery Road Max and Irma's gave us, but it was delicious. So make sure that you stop in for Thank You Thursdays for a famous Max and Irma's burger and fries for only $6. Max and Irma's, it's the neighborhood gathering place.
And that Max and Irma's is about a block from where I work. Incredible. They got a great serving staff. I really love that location, too. I've always had excellent service every time I've gone in there, and the food's always great.
Max and Irma's, I've always been a sucker for their cheese skewers. Oh, man. They are delicious, I tell you what. So here we go, 6:14 to go here, third period. The Hilliard-Bradley Jaguars with a 10-point lead over the Thomas Worthington Cardinals, 34-24. Now it looks like, Zach, the Cardinals are trying to put on a full-court press, which Bradley breaks pretty easily. Mayfield's got it back out top to Norris, who's right wing. To Murphy. Murphy to Alaco, back to Norris. Norris looking for an inside move, who gives it to Mayfield, who gives it to Mergen. And now it looks like Thomas Worthington doing a great job of protecting the inside as the shot is missed, but rebounded by Mayfield. Sticks it back up into the hoop, Zach, and he draws the foul.
He got that rebound between two guys. He's just tough. He's so strong. I would take him in a bench press competition against anybody in the area, and I'd like my chances. There's a reason he's playing Big Ten football.
There you go. Mayfield at the line, off the front of the rim, and no good. Huey comes down with it. Collins, who gives it to Settles, fires from three, no good. Keaton, Norris with the rebound. Man, he got up on that one. I tell you what, he lifted off the deck, grabbed that rebound with authority. He's now getting trapped, though, by Settles. Settles wanted to travel, didn't get it.
Thomas Worthington is really only guarding three guys on the perimeter, not even stepping out on Chris Mayfield and Peyton Murphy. They're just having a tough time finding stops here.
Mayfield gets it from Alaco, who gets rejected by Huey to Solinger, who's going to tries to drive the hoop against two Jags. And he got rejected, and then it looks like maybe Huey got a hand on that one, Zach. I couldn't exactly tell.
Yeah, it was Huey. Tried to come in there and get a tip out. Didn't work. Bradley holding a 12-point lead. They got to like where they're at right now. The last two possessions for Thomas have been kind of forced shots, and the Jags are really getting whatever they want offensively.
You know, and it doesn't seem like the Cardinals have gone to their bench a whole lot in this game. You know, we've seen Zalewski come in. We've seen Collins come in. Other than that, we really, you know, they're playing with about a seven-man crew. I would think that's gonna wear on you after a few minutes.
Especially against Bradley, too. They're just so physical. They run you through so many screens. They make you work on both ends of the floor. You know, it's a very exhausting game playing against these guys. But for Bradley, you know, they're about 6 deep, too. So both of these teams don't use a whole lot of guys off the bench.
Right now, Chris Mayfield playing point guard. Look at this, the big man with some dribbling skills.
And he can do that, too.
I'm telling you what, he breaks the trap there.
When Chris was a freshman, he was skinny and he was a high flyer. He played the guard spot. He can handle the ball and pass it as good as anybody.
Boy, I tell you what, yeah, putting on a few extra pounds for him, bulking up, has not diminished his dribbling skills whatsoever. So he's got it back out here now, near midcourt. Dishes to Alaco, who's exactly at midcourt, who gets kind of a little bit of a push from Settles, no call. He was able to get it over to Mergen, who gets it to Norris, who gets it to Murphy, back to Mayfield. And Effiong there with some hands as he and Alaco go spilling towards the basketball, and it's going to go back to Hilliard-Bradley, but you got to like that effort from Effiong.
Effiong is all effort. You can't spell effort without EFF, and that's an Effiong class name. Love that kid. He just plays hard every single game. You know what you're going to get from him. He's not a guy where he's inconsistent high and low. He's always level-headed and always playing tough. You know, nearly gets the steal there. Great hustle, dives on the floor, doesn't get it. But I do like the pressure that Thomas Worthington's putting on the ball right now. But Bradley, they just never get sped up. When you watch these guys, they're always under control. It doesn't matter what defense they throw at you, they're always prepared. And that's just Hilliard-Bradley basketball for the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, they're playing some tough, physical, both offense and defense. I mean, and the effort. You know, you look at Hilliard-Bradley, and they're not a big team. I mean, aside from Mayfield, they're just not a squad that you would look at as maybe being intimidating, and I don't want to, you know, throw shade on them in that regard, but you take a look at them and you think, you look at Worthington, they're definitely taller, a little more size, but boy, Bradley has got some spunk, especially that kid right there, number 3 with the basketball, Keaton Norris.
He's coach's son, so
he's got to put forth the effort.
It's in his DNA. His dad was his college's all-time leading scorer. Basketball runs in that family, and he's the next great one.
Here's been a great one for the Jags this year, number 14, Alako, as he gives it up to the coach's son, Norris, who's back over to Murphy. Underneath, Mayfield, wow. Boy, a great play could not get finished off by Peyton Murphy as he caught a great pass from Tayshawn Mayfield, and instead Solinger came down with the basketball, and Murphy committed the foul.
I love the way Matt Alako communicates with his teammates. After that foul was committed, he came back, clapping, telling them it's all right, it's okay. His leadership, his communication, reminds me of Aaron Kraft in that regard. He's always keeping his guys level-headed. And defensively, when you watch these guys, they literally call out every single set that opposing teams run. Their preparation, their film study is elite. They operate like a college program, and a good college program at that.
Well, that's a good reason why they're 12-2 and they haven't lost 50 OCC division games. As Effiong, with the effort, hits the shot, and it's back to a 10-point game here with under 2:40 to play, 36-26 Bradley. And the crowd not happy with that as Alako has it. Back to Mayfield up top. Gives it to Mergen. Norris, oh boy, he caught a screen there from Mayfield, and then he uses a second screen for a nice 15-foot jumper for Keaton Norris.
Norris has been big time tonight. That was a tough shot hit there. He just gets it done every single time, and he's really improved. I've been extremely impressed with that, just what he's adding to his game and how consistent he's been this year.
Solinger's got the ball now with under 2 minutes to play in the third period and down by 12. Takes it to the hoop, and that's going to be going the other way. Yep. As Jalen Solinger, Zach, tried to create something, you can't fault him for that. Right now his team is down by 12 points, but in the process he gets called for a foul, and I believe that's number 3.
It is. Oko out, too. That's a big-time play. Another one made by Keaton Norris. He does it on both ends of the floor. Steps in, takes the charge, and that gets Solinger off the floor. He's the really entire source of offensive facilitation for Thomas Worthington. So with him on the floor, or off the floor, it's going to be tough for the Cardinals to get buckets here.
In his place is Landon Ward, senior starter. Now the Cards are starting to put on a little bit of pressure here, trying to force something. As Mayfield hands it back to Norris, who fires a deep 3, and it's no good. Settles, comes down with it, and coming the other way. Minute 15 to go here, third period. And a long 3 from Effiong, and that's no good. As Norris comes down with it. And his dad tells him to slow it down. Past half court to Mayfield. Gives it to his brother Tayshawn. And at this point, Zach, if you're Hilliard Bradley, and I know the quarter's winding down, but even going into the fourth quarter here, what kind of basketball and tempo are you going to try and play if you're Hilliard Bradley?
Well, you're going to keep doing what you've been doing and just forcing Thomas into tough shots. They rarely get into transition. This is another opportunity to see if they can convert.
And it's good for Maurice Collins.
It's got to keep Thomas out of transition. That's how the Cardinals want to play. Bradley's done a great job of that. They've only given up about 4 fast break points all night. I just think they're going to, slow it down again, make it tough, move the ball around, and get open shots.
If you're Thomas Worthington, do you continue to try and play a pressing kind of basketball going into the fourth quarter?
You're going to have to. You got to speed them up with no shot clock. Bradley will just move the ball around, waste maybe a minute or 2 with the ball, get an open shot. They're a disciplined team, and there's a block called there on Landon Ward.
Yep, Landon Ward now. That's his first, team's third, with 6.1 to go here, third period. Hilliard Bradley High School for the 270 Hoops. Game of the week powered by Score on Air and the Ohio Media School. And looks like they're waiting for a little bit of moisture on the court to get mopped up there. Mayfield does. Mergen passes in. Norris has got it Comes across half court with 3, 2, 1. Nice dish to Tayshawn Mayfield to end the third period, Zach. And so far it's been all Hilliard Bradley at the end of 3, 40-28 over the visiting Thomas Worthington Cardinals. So that will do it here for us for just a moment. We'll be back with the fourth quarter right after this.
Do you have design ideas for t-shirts but you're not sure where to go? Go to Mojo Sports Gear. That's right, Mojo Sports Gear. At Mojo Sports Gear, you can get custom-made shirts. Whatever design you need, Mojo Sports Gear can provide it. Don't forget to grab a custom-made cap on your way out and rock the best headgear in the game. Give them a call at 614-864-6656. That's 614-864-6656.
Are you someone who has always dreamed of a career in sports media? The Ohio Media School now offers a 6-month sports emphasis program to prepare you for a whole new career. Whether it's radio or television, play-by-play or production, the Ohio Media School has you covered. You will receive training from professionals that are actually in the industry. The Ohio Media School will get you where you need to be for a successful career in this exciting, expanding field. To schedule a visit, call 614-655-5250 or go to beonair.com. Stop dreaming about a career in sports and make it a reality at the Ohio Media School.
Here we go. Start of the final period for the 270 Hoops Game of the Week, powered by Score on Air and the Ohio Media School. 8 minutes to go here, Zach, between the 12-2 Hilliard Bradley Jaguars and the 11-1 Thomas Worthington Cardinals. It's a 40-28 ball game. Bradley pretty much has had control of this game the entire time. What are you looking here in fourth quarter out of these two teams?
I just think Bradley's going to continue to move the ball and really make Thomas Worthington uncomfortable. They've done it all game. They're going to control the tempo. Thomas has to really accelerate tempo, get going, and transition. There's another bucket from Tyrese Huey.
And there's your buddy, Tyrese Huey.
He's got 11 points. He's had a great game, but really nobody else has stepped up for them. Jalen Saunders has been held to 2 points in the second half so far.
Jags now 10-point lead. Laco calling the offense, resetting things. Uh-oh, there's a steal by Settles. He's wide open. Oh, my goodness, and he misses a wide-open shot. Alaco seemed to kind of distract him there, Zach. And now the Jags.
Backbreaker.
Keaton Norris, folks. He's only a junior. He's back next year, and he throws down a dagger. 1 minute in, and it's back to a 13-point lead. Hilliard Bradley, 43. Thomas Worthington 30. Boy, and I tell you what, you're Thomas Worthington, you cannot miss an opportunity like that for an easy 2 points, and unfortunately, Settles just missed the bucket.
That's a backbreaker for Thomas Worthington. He had a chance. It's a 5-point swing. You had a chance to cut it to 8. You missed that opportunity, and then Keaton Norris gets a wide-open transition 3. He's not going to miss those. The junior's been incredible. He's got 16 points. He's been the best player on the floor tonight. He's making some big-time plays, some big-time shots, and that's the reason Hilliard Bradley's up 13 points right now.
You make a shot like that, and you think that would give Thomas Worthington the kind of energy that they have been lacking this game to mount a comeback in your eyes?
Absolutely. They cut it to 8 there with a little over 7 minutes to go. They really like their chances. Now down 13, it's going to be tough. Again, when you're playing Hilliard Bradley, when you're down double digits, it feels like twice of what it really is. A 13-point deficit to them probably feels like 20 right now. They got 30 points, through the first 25 minutes of this game. They're going to have to get at least 20 here in the last 7 minutes if they want to have a chance to win.
Sollinger's got it now back in the game here to start the fourth quarter. He's playing with 3 fouls. As he gives it to Effiong, who gives it to Settles, who's trying to jam his way inside, and it's no good. Huey can't come down with the bucket, but A.J. Mergen does, and he's pushing it up past half court. Kind of dribbles in between 3 defenders as he gives it to Tayshawn Mayfield, who then dishes it out back to the senior Alaco, who calms the team down with under 6.5 minutes to go and a 13-point lead. Jaguars here probably, like you said, they just want to play their style of basketball, which is very methodical, as Norris found Mayfield Chris Mayfield, that is, wide open under the bucket. And he kind of hesitated, and that resulted in a turnover. Now Solinger brings it up past half court. He's going to give it over on the wing to Effiong, who gives it up to Settles. Being guarded by Mergen, who gives it to Tyrese Huey, who's being guarded by Chris Mayfield. And Huey with a nice turnaround jumper off the glass.
Been impressed with Tyrese tonight. He's hitting some tough shots. They're getting him the ball. He's getting more involved. He probably could have used more of that in the first half. Trailing 11. They got to get this game down to about 7 points with 4 minutes to go. If not, it's going to be tough sledding for the rest of the way.
Norris has got it, and he gives it to Mergen. He gives it to Alako. Chris Mayfield with the ball now, back to Alako. Gives it to Mergen, who's guarded by Collins. Settles almost had himself another pick. Norris able to get a handle on it, though, as Alako, who's guarded by Effiong. Looking for some room to Mergen on the wing. No good. Settles down with it. And now with approaching 5 minutes to play in this ball game, as Settles a nice pass. No look to Effiong underneath, who didn't take advantage of the opportunity. And instead now loses control of the basketball. Zach, it's out of bounds, and it's going back to Bradley.
Actually, well, no, Thomas called a timeout there right before he slid out of bounds. So Thomas is going to keep possession. It looked like it was a turnover. I thought it was. They actually get the timeout call. That's why the Bradley players were a little upset running off the floor. 11-point deficit, 4:59 to go. It's just been so tough for Thomas Worthington. They have not been able to get into a rhythm. They haven't been able to string together the stops they need. And with Bradley holding this deficit late, they're just going to move the ball and get the shots they want. And if they get another bucket and they reach 45 points, this game is virtually impossible to win with the way Bradley's been the last 3 years.
Well, you said 45 was the threshold, and right now the Jags are within 2 points of hitting that threshold. And you said essentially when they score 45 points, they've never lost a game.
They've lost one game in the last 3 years. That was in the 2017 district finals against Upper Arlington. They lost 61-48. Since then, though, they have not lost another game when they've scored 45. When they lost to Walnut Ridge just a few weeks back, they had 44. They were really close to that threshold. Matt Alako missed a free throw that would have tied the game with 3 seconds left.
Oh, boy.
So it was right there. That is the number for them. And it's incredible to think in high school basketball, 45 points isn't a lot. Most teams average a little over 50. To have that type of dominance with 45, that just speaks to how tough this program is and just the way they play defense, because they don't make anything easy.
Right now playing some good defense is the Cards. Once again, a little stymied here, trying to get the ball inside. Hilliard cutting them off practically every pass as Effiong has it. He's looking to make something happen. Guarded by Tayshawn Mayfield. He just kind of wings one up off the side iron. And Tayshawn Mayfield coming down with the basketballs. We're approaching 4 minutes to play here in the game. Bradley with that 11-point lead as Mergen's got it on the wing. He's being pressured big time by Effiong and Collins, and those two forced the turnover. Boy, I tell you what, if you're Thomas Worthington, you're approaching 4 minutes to play in the game, down by 11 points. That is a huge momentum breaker there against Bradley, and good for the Cardinals.
It's a great stop, great break there. They haven't got many of them tonight. They just have to convert. A 3-point bucket from Solinger would be big here.
Zalewski's in the game now, and he's got it top of the key. Guarded by Norris, and he throws it right into the hands of Tayshawn Mayfield, who's bringing it up the court, slows it down, back to Norris. Norris is going to kick it over to Mergen, who goes to Chris Mayfield, who goes to his brother Tayshawn. Norris now being pressured once again, this time by Huey and Effiong, and we got a timeout on the floor.
You guys will make sure you want to stick around for the COHSS post-game show with the Mojo Sports Gear Player of the Game. Anyone, if you have a custom shirt or hat need, contact Mojo Sports Gear at 614-864-6656 or visit mojosportsgear.com to see their amazing selection. They do everything. If you need hoodies, you need t-shirts, you need polos, or even softball jerseys, even basketball jerseys, Mojo can get it done. They did Grove City's basketball jerseys just a couple years back. They do everything. Visit mojosportsgear.com.
So we got 3:37 to play here in the game at Hilliard-Bradley High School, where the Jags own an 11-point lead over the Cardinals. And the same five coming back out on the court here for the Jags, the Mayfield brothers, Keaton Norris, Matt Alacco, and A.J. Mergen. It's Joey Zalewski, Jalen Solinger, Tyrese Huey, Isaac Settles, and Amari Effiong on the court for the Cardinals. I'd say this is make or break time here. If you're Thomas Worthington, you've got to get a stop and somehow turn it into some points. Mayfield now going to dribble to the hoop, catches a little static from Isaac Settles. Huey was underneath there too in defense, and it looks like they're going to call it out on Chris Mayfield, and the ball is going the other way.
I love how active Bradley is. You can't even get an easy defensive rebound against these guys, let alone a bucket. Again there, Tayshawn Mayfield making his presence felt. Almost, finds a way to get the deflection and maybe the rebound.
Solinger a little behind the back move, trying to put some moves on Alacco as he tries to drive the lane, and Tayshawn Mayfield right there to meet him. Oh, wow. And they're going to call goaltending.
Amari Effiong gets back, almost gets the chase down block. Tayshawn Mayfield, he's so active. Whether it's rebounding the ball, playing defense, moving the ball, he does it all for these guys. And they just have a culture here that's unbelievable. There's not another program like these guys. If you don't like watching Hilliard-Bradley, you don't like basketball. This is the way the game's supposed to be played.
Well, I tell you what, the fans here are getting loud. They can sense it. The rematch not going according to plan as far as Thomas Worthington is concerned, but definitely as far as the Jags are concerned. Settles gives it up to Huey, and he gets one off the glass.
I think if you're Thomas Worthington and you told Coach Sean Luzayer that Tyrese Huey would have 15 points, he'd probably like his chances, but they have really shut down Jalen Solinger. He's got 2 points since halftime. The foul trouble affected him, and they've just really been making it uncomfortable for him all night. He's not getting anything easy.
Not easy there is Tayshawn Mayfield as he was up near half court. Tyrese Huey gets called for the foul. I believe they said that was his fourth, Zach.
It's 3 on Tyrese.
3 on Tyrese.
Can't afford to lose him. I've also been impressed. Chris Mayfield, again, he picked up that third foul midway through the third quarter. Didn't come out. He's played foul-free basketball and still been physical, which is tough to do, in some high school games.
Norris has got it. 16 points on the night for the junior. He gives it up to Mergen, who's going to drive the lane and stop. Dish it back out, and obviously Coach Brett Norris, Zach, telling him to just kind of play things out here with an 11-point lead now under 2 minutes to go. Keaton Norris has the ball, and Solinger has to commit the foul to stop the clock, and that's going to be foul number 4.
That's tough because you want to pressure these guys. You're going to have to foul sooner or later. Solinger's got 4. They got to pull him out for offense, for defense. He sticks on the floor, and that's who Bradley's going to go after. They want to get him out of the ball game, and it looks like they're going to do that now.
Norris taking the basketball and dribbling all the way underneath his own hoop. Guarded by Solinger. Now they're past half court as they're just playing keep away, trying to find an open man, which Chris finds his brother Tayshawn, but they're going to call a foul first on Tyrese Huey, and now Tyrese Huey has 4 fouls. 1:36 to go, an 11-point Hilliard-Bradley lead. And one more foul by Bradley and, Thomas Worthington, the Cardinals. And there is foul number 7 as Isaac Settles gets called for a reach around. That'll be his second. And now with 7 fouls, the Jags are going to go to the stripe now from here on out, at least shooting 1 and 1.
These guys don't miss many free throws either. It's a tough team to come back on. They take advantage of every opportunity, especially with Matt Alacco. You don't expect him to miss these.
Alacco, the senior, second leading scorer in all of the OCC. And right on cue, Zach, he ices his first free throw. For Thomas Worthington, though, it doesn't look good like they're going to finish this game out with a win in this revenge match from earlier this year against the Jaguars. But if you're Thomas Worthington, what can you take away from this game, Zach, that, you can continue to build on for the second half of the OCC season as Settles draws Mergen into a foul?
In their Cardinal division, there's really, outside of these two, there's not another third team that's a strong contender. You're going to have a chance to win out in conference play. This is the first game of the second stretch. Thomas, they could realistically finish 18-3, which is that's a hell of a regular season.
And I'd say that a lot of teams would love to do that.
They're going to have a chance to be a top 5 seed. I imagine they'd go away from Hilliard Bradley. They don't want to play them in the tournament again. They did last year. It worked out for them. I think if they met up with Bradley again, the Jags would be so sick and tired of how last season ended that, we might see another game like we had here tonight. I think they're going to have a chance to win a district title, make it to the regionals, and maybe hope that someone knocks off Hilliard Bradley. So I think this Cardinals team, they can beat just about anybody else in the area. They did struggle against Columbus South earlier. Games like this are a true test of your toughness, and they just got out tough tonight. Bradley was just too physical for them. Defensively, they were too good, but it's a long season for Thomas. They're going to have a chance to win a lot of games, and they'll be second place in the OCC Cardinal, which is nothing to be ashamed of. This Bradley program's elite.
Yeah, that'll put him at 6-2, of course, with a win here in about 1 minute and 20 seconds, leading by 12. Hilliard Bradley's going to move to 8-0 and remain undefeated in OCC play as it's Mayfield to Mayfield. Tayshawn up and under, and he's now in double digits. Zach with 10 points on the night. That press was easily broken by Bradley as...
And this will be, with this win, that's 51 straight. OCC Cardinal victories. Again, they have not lost since January 22nd, 2016. That loss, nothing to be ashamed of. They lost to Westerville South, who at the time just so happened to have Caleb Wesson and Andre Wesson, who 2 months later went on and won a state championship. So
yeah, I'd say those are two probably pretty good guys to have on a state basketball team.
Yeah, that's not a bad loss for the Jags when they haven't had to play the Wesson brothers in conference play. They're 51-0. That's just unbelievable.
Settles from way out. With 52.9 seconds, he gets it to go down. It's still a double-digit lead. Bradley 49, Thomas Worthington 38.
Back in for Thomas Worthington, number 15, Zach Ganser.
But that was a deep shot there by Settles. But, yeah, absolutely unbelievable what you were just alluding towards earlier. The job that Brett Norris has done, and they've had some kids that have gone on to have some, collegiate success. And if you're going to do that, if you're going to build a program, you've got to obviously either have kids that are very skilled. That helps, right? Having a couple of kids named Wesson on your team helps. You need talent, but you need a guy who can bring that talent together and really get the team believing in themselves. And it seems like that's what Brett Norris has done.
Brett Norris is incredible, and he's an elite X's and O's coach, but when it comes to culture building, accountability building, just building young men, he does that at an elite level. I mean, this program has a culture that, again, it's unlike anything I've seen at the high school level. It reminds me a lot of Urban Meyer's Ohio State program in terms of accountability, that brotherhood. Hilliard Bradley has that. Every guy has their teammates back. When they lose, they go down as a team. When they win as a team. And Matalaco, in the last matchup, he scored his 1,000th career point. We interviewed him after the game. I asked, Matt, what does it mean? You're only the third or fourth player in program history to score 1,000 points. What does it mean to you? And he said, and I quote, I don't care about that. I don't care about stats. The only thing I care about are wins and losses. There's a reason this program's 82-7 in the last 4 years. They got guys like that from player 1 to player 15 on the bench. Every single kid's wired that way. That's why they win.
Coming into this game now, third all-time at Hilliard Bradley in career scoring. And coming in, he only needed 80 points to pass Braden Norris for second all-time.
I think he'll pass Braden, and unfortunately for Braden, his senior year, he battled a foot injury. Only got to play about 11 games that year. Braden's junior year was incredible. If he was able to play the whole season, that kid would have put up unbelievable numbers. Just in his junior year alone, he hit 84 threes. So He was a marksman.
Wow.
Did it again last year. He led all of Division I college basketball in three-point shooting percentage as a true freshman. That's just what the Norris family does. They breed snipers, and Keaton Norris, we saw tonight, he's the next one in the line.
There's Mayfield again getting to the rack as the Jags break the Cards press easily, and now Thomas Worthington's just throwing up haymakers at this point. Deep threes that have not fallen the last few possessions, and that's going to be a wrap. 10 seconds and counting here at Hilliard Bradley High School for the 270 Hoops Game of the Week, featuring the now 12-1, 8-0 in the OCC Cardinal Hilliard Bradley Jaguars, and the now 12-3, 6-2 in the OCC Cardinal Thomas Worthington Cardinals. Final score 53-38, Hilliard Bradley. And Zach, I'm not sure that this game went the way that a lot of people thought it would, but I think we saw a pretty competitive contest nonetheless, and just showed you why Hilliard Bradley is as good as they are.
Absolutely. The Jags are on a mission this season. Again, I don't think another team's going to be able to beat Matalaco and the Jags. This is my pick. This is my pick to win the region from here on out. You know, they just play so together, so tough, so physical. It's really fun to watch. I mean, these guys just truly care about one another. They don't care who scores the most points, who gets the most shots. They just want to win. That's all that matters. And today, you know, you had 3 different guys in double figures. Keaton Norris's breakout game, he leads all scorers with 16 points. Matalaco adds 14. Tayshawn Mayfield with 12. Chris Mayfield off the bench with 6 points. Tyson Alexander hit the 1-3 off the bench. And then you had A.J. Morgan, who he's had a finger issue. He had, I believe, cuts on his fingers, some type of finger issue on his shooting hand. And that's really affected him the last 2 weeks. He scored 11 points in his last 4 games. That's a guy, early in the season, he was one of their leading scorers. If they can get him back to full health, just imagine how good they're going to be, because they're really, with Morgan as a non-factor offensively, they're still grinding teams out. When they get him back to full strength, I think they're going to be virtually unbeatable. And we're going to wrap it up here. Again, Thomas Worthington falls in the rematch, 53-38 to Hilliard Bradley. Stick around for the Mojo Sports Gear Player of the Game and the COHSS post-game show with Derek Owens Jr. and Tanner Whirling here at the 270 Hoops Game of the Week, powered by Score on Air and the Ohio Media School. For Zach Fleer, Andy Evans, thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Do you have design ideas for t-shirts but you're not sure where to go? Go to Mojo Sports Gear. That's right, Mojo Sports Gear. At Mojo Sports Gear, you can get custom-made shirts. Whatever design you need, Mojo Sports Gear can provide it. Don't forget to grab a custom-made cap on your way out and rock the best headgear in the game. Give them a call at 614-864-6656. That's 614-864-6656.
Welcome to the COHSS post-game show for the 270 Hoops Game of the Week. We are here at Hilliard Bradley, victorious over Thomas Worthington, 53-38. We are here with our Mojo Sports Gear Player of the Game, Keaton Norris. Keaton, great game today, 16 big points. You came out on fire early, 11 points in the first half. Just talk about your game today and how you felt out there.
I felt very good. You know, in warm-ups, I actually wasn't feeling too well, but, you know, that doesn't matter. And after the first one went down, I really felt good and that I was going to shoot it well the rest of the game.
Yeah, definitely with the crowd helping you out there in the first half. How do you feel about the crowd environment here?
Oh, it was really good, which is like rare for us because we don't really get a good crowd too often. But it was good since very good game against a very good team. So yeah, that was good.
So talk about the game, okay? This is your second matchup. You guys were actually the first game that we broadcast. So just talk about, you knew what was coming in, Jalen Solinger, Tyrese Huey. What was kind of the game plan to keep those two from having even bigger games than they did today and not letting anybody else of the role players beat you guys?
Yeah, they're a very good team, very talented, and especially with Jalen and Tyrese. We always focus on those two, especially Jalen. And, like, our focus is always defense, and that's what we did tonight. And I think we did pretty well on both of them.
Yeah, definitely. The defense was spot on tonight. Again, we got the victory. But with this game coming up, what do you expect for the rest of the season?
Same thing as tonight. We got to keep building. Every game matters. The next one's the most important game.
I do want to take you back to your off season. Can you just talk about what are some of the things that you worked on, and what are some of the things that you wanted to be better at this year than you were last year?
Of course, always working on my shooting. That doesn't stop. But because obviously my dad, we really stressed like getting in the weight room, trying to get bigger, gain weight. But other than that, just ball handling, shooting, all that kind of stuff.
Now, you also have a brother here that played here. He was a tremendous shooter. You are following in those footsteps. Can you just talk about what it's like to have an older brother that came up in the program that you're now playing in, and just how it has molded and shaped you?
I'm so thankful for my brother. He has done so much for me, and he's pushed me, and he's really set the tone for me and my family. So, yeah, I appreciate him so much.
Absolutely. All right, one more thing, okay? Your brother is playing collegiately right now. He just made a transfer from Oakland to Loyola of Chicago. But I want to just talk to you about the academic side. Now, watching him achieve his academics in high school and be eligible to play on a collegiate level, what kind of standard has that set for you so you can follow your dreams and play on the next level as well?
Well, academics is the most important. I work as hard as I can, and he set the standard for me. And I just try to do as best as I can in the classroom so I can perform out here.
Now, I just want to talk about your teammates today. Okay, Matt Alaco, people widely regarded as one of the best players in the area. Can you just talk about Tayshawn Mayfield and just how he's been playing this year, both offensively, defensively, running the floor? I mean, he's really a big spark for you guys.
Yeah, Tayshawn's been playing very well this year, and he's really helped us get wins like this, obviously. And, yeah, Tayshawn just needs to keep building, keep getting better, and playing the way he's playing because he's playing great.
I totally agree. Again, this is Keaton Norris, a big 53-38 win tonight at home over Thomas Worthington. He is our Mojo Sports Gear player of the game, 16 big points. Congratulations, big win, and we'll see you guys on the circuit, I'm sure.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.